I don't really want to talk to you, I'm sorry.
So we've just opened up for sit-in and we're actually surprisingly quiet. We thought we were going to be busy, but I think people are finally listening and being scared of coronavirus, which is good because we were mental beforehand. But we have like a lot of delivery, Ubers, Just Eat, everything like that, so people are staying safe and ordering online, which is good for us as well because it makes it easier because we're just getting little receipts and then making the pizzas and sending them off. So that's kind of the situation just now.
Cycled through to Edinburgh yesterday from Perth, so
on a single gear bike.
Yeah, which was fun. So then, but obviously because of lockdown, we can't go into each other's houses, so we thought we'd just walk around, go to a cafe, and then got some milk cartons of beer, which I've never had before, which was a bit odd.
My parents moved there when I was young, I think about 2, and I was away for working abroad for quite a few years, but I moved back to Edinburgh just over 30 years ago. I had a flat in Great Stewart Street just there, and for the last nearly 20 years I've been in my own place.
Well, I was born in London. I spent a lot of time in London and surrounding counties when I was young. I came up here for the university to do a doctorate, fell in love with this amazing city, and I've been in and out of it ever since.
Chilling, just came here first time to Edinburgh, so it's my first day here, to be honest. Taking a little break from walking around.
So a lot of people find when they go on Switzerland they feel dizzy, almost like spaced out, hence spaceman. And then the CBT, it said CBT but the rains kind of ruined that, is cognitive behavioural therapy instead of like NASA on the side of it, which is like something that helps a lot of people with depression. So.
Well, we both lived in small towns around Stirling,
Yeah,
so
Stirling was like the meeting point for us.
Yeah. So because Stirling's not a very big city.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
not.
it's almost the small town syndrome that you kind of get, but like a slight step up from it.
Yeah. The good thing about Scotland though is everyone goes to Edinburgh and Glasgow anyway, so it's not too bad. But I don't want to badmouth Stirling on camera. I could go back there and get but it was pretty boring. I think we both said.
Yeah.
We're both quite happy to move on.
Fairly quickly.
Yeah.
even before we like moved out, we were still already like here or Glasgow more often than we'd be hanging out in Stirling.
Yeah, I've always been driving us about into Glasgow
Yeah.
and since we turned 17 pretty much.
Well, I've been a freelance for many years, so I have almost no employment background, if you know it. I've done all sorts of things. I've been a writer, I've been a journalist, I've been a painter, I'm doing lots of etchings at the moment. I was a civil servant, a terrible civil servant, for quite a while. I was a botanist. I was always fascinated by plants. I had a huge collection when I was a kid. Became an academic, didn't like that. Became a civil servant, hated that even more. And been, as I say, freelancing ever since.
So my cats, I've got 2 black cats. I rescued them. They were really sick when I first got them, so I am their mother and that's all they know. So they're very close to me, and that helps me a lot because, like, especially during quarantine, they were my 2 little friends and they're always with me. And I've had issues in my past, so my poetry is my way that I express it because I can't like always tell people. So when I write it in poetry, I like actually understand my emotions and I can see it on page and I can go, okay, this is how we're feeling. And then I have that as a little personal journal thing that I can always go back on. If I'm having a rough day, I'll be like, okay, we were at a worse situation. You know, you're doing better well now, and I can like see myself develop through it. So yeah. So we both have like a collective called Washing Machine, where we like release videos and zines and kind of like just little art bits. But we've both gone into a London uni, so hopefully next year we'll go down and gather some more people to be in this little collective of artists, and hopefully we can make some money off of that.
I have a small practice. I work with mainly with businesses trying to make their office space work. We did interiors in that building behind you about 15 years ago. And I've just been to see a client in Charlotte Square for whom we've just finished an office fit out at Waverley Gate, which is the old GPO building at Waverley Station.
Well, because I'm originally from England, which you might be able to tell from my voice, but I lived in Milton Keynes for years. My earliest memory is waking up on my 4th birthday and not having any memory, and going downstairs and genuinely not knowing who my parents or my siblings were, and then finding out that we'd been to Legoland the day before. I did not know.
Well, waste of a ticket.
Yeah, I saw the pictures from Legoland, but I don't remember being there at all.
Excuse me, Paul. Excuse me.
Thinking about my past and not being able to make myself proud. They're the two things that make me sad.
Yeah, I remember. It's one of those things because your memories are obviously mostly made up. For years after that, I confused it with a dream I'd had, probably that night. So I thought on my first day of nursery, I'd been attacked by a snake for a long time until my mum had to correct me and tell me that that didn't happen. And probably would have moved nursery if I had been attacked by a snake on my first day.
Yes.
I mean, it's wonderful being a freelance. You know, you can write about what you like, and sometimes people pay you quite a lot for it, so that's great. Lovely writing books. It's lovely showing one's paintings in galleries. You know, great stuff.
Knowing what I actually want to do, because at the moment I'm not sure that I want to continue doing the thing I'm doing as my degree. Whereas I'm now kind of, it's something I can do related to my degree. I want to do something maybe more in architecture, so through music I can do like architectural acoustics or something like that. But then also everything I do I seem to hate within like a couple months of doing it. So I don't know if that's just being the age I am or anything like that, but so just trying to figure out what I'm actually going to do long term.
Even the civil service, which had a negative impact, you know, did teach me that I wasn't suitable for general employment at all. So,
And actually living here makes me feel very happy. It's an amazing place to live. And so walking around Edinburgh, I love Edinburgh, I love the Murray Estate, and I have a dog who keeps me out a lot. The only reason I didn't bring her was I couldn't take her into the private bank I was going to see.
So I sell whiskey, and I'm also a wine expert, so booze industry all overall really. I think my new passion is whiskey at the moment, but I do come around to wine also.
Recently, just as a consumer of kind of media, is the only way to enjoy it or make stuff on your own.
And obviously Rishi Sunak says that we should both change career.
Yeah, definitely.
Career gifts are all done now. As it goes for yourself as well.
A lot of things, like nice people, socializing, I guess.
Well, Scotland and Britain, I feel quite differently about. I do subscribe to the belief that it's hard for Scotland to really make any big moves on its own, and the direction that both countries are taking seem to be wildly different in kind of approach. I would say generally pretty negatively about the country as a whole. I like the idea of Scottish independence, even though it's pretty scary to know what would actually happen. But I would say the unknown at this point seems almost safer than what is known, which is shit.
Yeah.
Well, the state of politics at the moment, the state of the world generally is pretty grim. That's quite saddening.
I've always been pretty optimistic about it, probably until was it 4 years ago? Was 2016?
Well, it's like hearing more about like all the stuff that, especially what's going on in China, with like they have concentration camps and that sort of thing. I thought we were in a fairly good state in the world.
There's an open secret of concentration camps in the world that is a horrifying realization.
Yeah.
And it does make me feel a lot worse about the human race as a whole.
And obviously, like all the Black Lives Matter things as well. Like we thought we were in a good place until someone points out, because obviously we come from a place of
we
privilege.
thought we were in a good place.
Yeah. Actually, well, yeah. To be perfectly honest, we're in a good place.
Yeah, we weren't seeing any of this. So.
Everyone else, it's not.
So yeah, definitely more negatively now than I have. But yeah, I still feel like it depends on the next couple of years. I think hugely.
I think also a lot of that is going from being in formal education, more like high school education, where they kind of shield you from all that sort of stuff, and then learning about it after the fact.
Yeah, talking to people who've had different experiences.
Just seeing people out in the world that have actually had bad things happen to them.
And also, the more people I talk to as well, it also gives me a brighter view of the human race, because
Yeah.
the more diverse sort of range of people you talk to, generally what I find is most people are good people, and they're funny, and they want to have a nice time, and they want good things for the people around them.
Yeah.
So,
I had a very abusive father, and I stayed with him longer than I should have. It affected me in like many different ways. There was times where like I never hoped that I would go to university. I was really down, so I let him like stop my life for so many years. And then when I finally cut him out, I changed my name. I got my life together, and I wish I would have done it sooner. That was the one thing that I regretted from not cutting him out sooner.
Oh, there are various sadnesses. I have quite a pressured working life, and the last few months have not been easy at all for people doing what I do. In that, projects were delayed or cancelled, and that introduced a lot of stress in terms of meeting other commitments. The deaths of people close to you, sadness. I try to avoid too much sadness, but yes, I think family bereavements have been the biggest sadnesses.
Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other people being upset. My friends being sad.
Yeah, I'm definitely back from the 50s or 60s, I think. Not a fan of this world at the moment. I mean, with the social media and all the plastic kind of surgeries going on, it's kind of,
I think, a lot of people will probably attest to this, and it's not been a challenge as such. It's a challenge, but it's like money.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say money too, especially recently.
it's just so incredibly all-encompassing in everything.
Feels debilitating at times.
Yeah. Which is important to like make things like this and have a bit of fun. Because this is all done on a budget at the moment as well. Like, this is just newspaper and things I've found around the house. So, yeah.
So I like my medium to full bodied cigars, depending what kind of drink I have, So I'll see, depending how much time I have as well. Sometimes I'll take a smaller cigar, like Romeo and Juliet or something like that. But if I've got more time, I'll take a bigger one and enjoy it full on. Also, depends. I may be drinking rum, so I'll be carrying something more heavy and more chocolatey. But like today, I think I just got this little taster here for my mate, so enjoying that a bit. But yeah, currently smoking Monte Cristo Regatta, which is one of my favorites, I would say, just because it's quite smooth, easygoing.
What doesn't make us sad?
Yeah, that's it. We're the typical sad boys.
We're
you
sad
know? Like, we
boys,
like
yeah.
indie music and like being sad. So-
I guess because I worked as a sommelier for some time, and seeing all these people drinking beautiful wine and smoking cigars, you kind of like get curious what's it like, and once you get a taste of it, it's hard not to come back to it, really.
All sorts of things. Good food, good company, sex, going to an exhibition of marvellous paintings, being in Edinburgh, walking on the street, lovely.
This is pretty hard to beat. I've lived in the old town, I've lived in other parts of the new town. It's all wonderful. I think Edinburgh's a wonderful place to live. My wife and I, my wife's Canadian, she's not from Edinburgh. We lived here for a few years before we started a family, and it's been an amazing place to bring children up. Right behind us, not this year, but every year is the book festival, the Edinburgh Festival. Kind of the whole city moves 1,500 miles south for 3 weeks every summer, and that's very nice indeed.
The mass consumption, like we're consuming way too much than we need to. We don't need all the things that we have at the moment. I think the fact that the world is so full of everything, that what makes me sad, I think simply days were better.
Hopefully travelling around Europe and giving motivational speeches. I want to publish a novel about my past and publish it so that some little girl picks up that book and realises it's okay that she's going through the same stuff I did, and I want to tell people that they do have a future, because I didn't have someone tell me that when I was younger. So yeah, that's where I see myself, hopefully motivating other people to find the little bits of happiness within life.
Meaning of life? Oh, that's a big question. If I could answer it, I think I'd probably be in a different place.
I think it's being happy within yourself and making yourself proud, doing small little things that make you happy and just trying to make your world a better place. I think that's what it is. Like, everything's so confusing, so if you can make yourself happy and do little things for that, I think that's what life's about. My own emotions sometimes, because we don't always understand ourselves. So I think my greatest personal mystery is me, is the little things that I do, or things when I get upset, or little things that make me happy. They're like little mysteries, and each person is unique. So I think it's yourself, you're your biggest mystery. And throughout life you kind of work out who you are and find yourself. You find your own style. Like, I wear cat ears, that's not normal, but like, it's finding out who you are is your biggest mystery.
I mean, the ongoing challenge of maintaining the morale, the health, mental and physical of a family.
Nostalgic, my childhood perhaps. I'd say I've had an amazing childhood living around the forests and rivers and fields and so on. And it's sad to see children growing up without that nowadays, to be honest. So nostalgic, my small little town back in Lithuania.
I'm scared. It is changing so drastically, like even in the short time that I've been around, like things have changed, technology is growing and changing, and I think the future is scary, but we're just going to have to go along with it, and I'm just going to keep trying to find my own life path throughout that, and again, doing what makes me happy in an ever-changing world. So yeah, I don't know what the future holds, but I hope it's good stuff. I hope, especially with coronavirus, I hope we learn to start taking care of our world and the people around us. And like, I've gotten so much closer with all my friends and families because I've never realised how much I missed them. So yeah, I just hope we get more connected in the future as a society as a whole.
It will eventually be sunnier, and you will eventually be able to go and get a drink.
Yeah,
Feel
pubs
like
will be
you're
open
gonna-
again, everything's going to be okay.
And if it's not, my biggest problem is that it's an apocalypse in which we're not allowed to drink and go and have sex with people.
Which is like, that's what you want in the apocalypse.
That's the
so.
one hope I have in the apocalypse. I would take asteroids over this any day.
Just hang in there, Kitty.
Don't refer to the public as Kitty.
Oh.
Not sure exactly what the interview is about. First of all, I don't know, we've been having a lovely chat here. I'll just say, live simply alive. That's all I can say really. Enjoy the little things in life. There's no need to seek for some unrealistic dreams that are portrayed on the social media again, coming back to that. Yeah, just enjoy the little things.
Well, thank you for stopping me in the street. It's nice to be able to get a chance to share my enthusiasm for Edinburgh and for this part of it.
Give people compliments. Say, hey, your jacket looks nice, or something like that. Just be as kind as you can, because when other people smile, that makes you smile.